Hello and welcome to Good Boys Gone Bland, The Thing. I'm your co-host Denali, or am I?
Oh, I'm your co-host Ryan, and I've always had fake teeth, so you know it's me.
Couldn't the alien be wearing fake teeth?
Nope.
Okay.
Who's this other guy?
It's me, Jace, and
Say something human, so we know you're one of us.
something human.
Oh, clever.
Okay,
Okay.
well, he is a little annoying asshole. Okay,
No,
so
okay,
That's
I
a
think
point
we
for it
should-
being really Jace.
We should torch this guy, actually. Oh, okay, look.
yeah, I'm actually on board, whether or not, really.
Look, I've devised an alien test. We could figure out who the real human is. All right, so you can
Right.
take my word for it. I'm human. So between you two, we got to
Okay,
figure
but
out.
I do want to have an aside with Jace real quick. Like,
Okay.
regardless, buddy,
Yeah, of course.
do you really want to be stuck in an Antarctic research station for 6 months with this guy?
Should I leave the room before you have this
Yes,
conversation? or-
I'd really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because, like, I'm sorry, man. I wouldn't voluntarily be stuck in a room with you for 6 months.
Okay, question one.
Is
This
the human
question
tongue
is
supposed to have hair on it?
Yeah, actually.
This question is for Ryan. This
Okay.
is look. I've devised a series of questions that only humans can know the answer to. All right.
Okay,
So this will
perfect,
devise
yeah.
if you're an alien. All right.
Right.
Okay, Ryan. What is the name of Jake Paul's energy drink company?
Elmendorf.
No, it is Prime.
Oh,
Prime
shit,
energy
I got that.
drinks.
Sorry, I was thinking of that other.
It's,
I went into my top secret file
the
of
the
memories.
that is the military base that's located
Oh.
in Anchorage, Alaska. Prime
okay.
is an energy drink brand. It's safe for kids. Okay, Jace, I'm going to ask you now a question that only humans can understand. All right, Jace, what is Weezer's best album?
Glorfuple.
That was a good one.
That's
a good one.
unfortunately it's not
that's a
the
good
unreleased Glorfuple. It is Pinkerton. But I'll give you a pass on that one because you were close.
Also acceptable Teal album.
Teal album is completely wrong, and Ryan, that is one notch towards the flamethrower for you. Ryan, now complete this sentence that I'm about to say. All right, say you can't sleep, baby. I know.
Edwards. Nailed it.
The correct answer is That's That Me Espresso. So that's a huge song that everybody
It's
knows.
cold outside.
Okay, Jace. We're gonna this is the last chance. Ryan is not looking good here, okay? What is the name of the romantic French period piece directed by Celine Sciamma that won 2 awards at the Cannes Film Festival in 2019?
Get me out of this recording booth.
Welcome, folks. That bit we just did was about The Thing. The movie we just watched. All right?
Loosely.
Loosely based on true events. Folks.
Oh yeah, no, the movie is based on true events.
Man, the UFO community's been going crazy over the past week.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
like
crack this right now.
actually insane, and they were just United Airlines.
They were planes.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Were they
Yeah,
planes?
it turns out aliens don't really care for having the red and green navigation lights on their spaceships and fly in formation directly pointed and in line with
You
airport
don't know
runways.
that. What if they wanted to fly in formation, dude? That's exactly what I'd do if I was an alien trying not to be detected.
Yeah, if they saw geese.
Yeah, they also register with flight radar.
Yeah, dude, I'd register all sorts of shit if I was an alien, dude. This
Yeah.
is exactly this is why critical thinking is important. It's not taught in schools. But Ryan, do you want to explain to the kids at home why you picked The Thing for this week?
Oh, well, children. I grew up in a dark and cold place. And this is a movie about a dark and cold place. And there's a monster on the loose. And I would always imagine when I was growing up what I would do if there was a monster. And when I grew into an adult, I became kind of obsessed with slasher movies and stuff. And this movie is just it's all practical. It's all very real. And it's got Kurt Russell in it. And so, you know what? It's an anti-slasher movie. That's I don't know. It somehow encapsulates winter so well. And this is the darkest day of the year today. And so my tradition is I watch this every solstice weekend, winter solstice, and just kind of imagine myself, going crazy in an Antarctic research hut while an alien is taking over everyone around me.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, for a second there, thought you were.
Yeah.
Oh, me? No.
I'm going crazy while there are a bunch of humans stuck in a research station with me.
I'm scratching at the windows and they won't let me in.
Yeah, I mean, for folks at home, we are filming this around the winter solstice, but it'll, of course, be summer 2025 by the time this comes out. So for anyone confused at home, maybe you can watch The Thing in 6 months.
Well, it's set in the Antarctic,
Oh,
so
right. So it's
actually
all,
their winter isn't our summer, so that actually would work.
I think
fine.
it works out. Time zones.
Wow, fuck. So it was summer solstice down in the southern hemisphere, huh?
Wait, isn't this time zones all fucked up down there? Like where it's like you can walk 2 feet and you like move like 12 time zones?
Well, sort of. I mean, the sun is still there.
Is there like a
So,
throne that one emperor penguin sits on, or is that at the South Pole, or are there lots of thrones?
They dig that up in the prequel. Yeah.
Shit. Good. Okay, I need to watch that next.
Yeah, watch the prequel. That's all the Emperor Penguin stuff is explained.
Yeah, the prequel to this movie, The Thing 2011, was actually my intro to this movie, Ryan. Like when it came out in high school, I saw that shit in like theaters.
We might have went together.
Maybe we did.
Because I
thought
double
it was...
dated to it.
Oh,
I think. Oh,
Jason, might have been you. Did we double date to The Thing 2011?
we might have.
I think I went by myself because my friends abandoned me. That's kind of what I remember.
I definitely was on a double date. So it sounds like it wasn't with Denali.
Oh, I think I was eating Cheetos underneath your seats when you guys are on your double date. And I was like, hey, guys, can I please come out? But this movie, like this, seeing The Thing was only, I only saw this a few years ago. So this was actually like seeing a sequel to a movie like I kind of liked. Like it was like a good sequel to a movie, but it was like reskinned to be the 80s. It was a really bizarre experience. I think it was kind of cool. But Jace, you said to me off camera, like this was your first watch of The Thing, the classic 1982.
Is that true?
I would consider. So, like, Ryan, you might have made me watch. Like, we might have watched this together at your house, but I wouldn't consider, like, I knew the like broad storyline, or like knew that the dog at the start was like the thing. But I might have just known that from the prequel, because a lot of it was completely fresh. It felt like a first watch.
The dog being the thing in the opening sequence is kind of also permeated itself into pop culture. So I think it's one of those like movie plot points that kind of everybody knows, even if you haven't seen the movie. It's
like I knew it from the prequel, like because the prequel ends with him shooting at a dog in a helicopter, and it just fucking ends, and I was like, what the fuck? Like what? And then to my relief, 10 years later, I see the beginning of this movie, and he's chasing a dog, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I actually enjoy the prequel. I
like the prequel. I think
I like it. It's not perfect by any means, and they had to get it approved. They had to like do a bunch of CGI and show the monster and make it more of like a traditional slasher movie. But that's okay to me. It doesn't take any. They didn't remake any of the canon for this movie, so like I don't really care. It just only adds to the experience. I really don't mind it.
I've got a question about that for you, for both of you, really. In something like this, where we're left with an ambiguous ending, right? And you gain like movie loosely based on a book or based on a
story.
Book?
Yeah.
A game comes out for it. A novella. The producer has thoughts on the story that's made. When additional information outside, you sit down and you watch this movie. Nobody else says anything to you. You have to form your own opinions of what happens.
Right.
But then people who have stake in the game, like the producer, go out and they do interviews and they say things about it. And they're like, well, I know stuff about the movie that you don't know because I made it.
Right.
That's my story. When do you think you let those things influence your opinion of the events of a movie? Or
Jace, I actually thought about this after I watched this movie the other night, because there's the big mystery to me. It's not the final scene where we don't know who's the thing or if it's dead yet. The big mystery to me is what happened to Fuchs, the guy who
is it not Fuchs?
No, it's Fuchs.
It is. They were saying it wrong the whole time.
Okay.
The when he found McCready's jacket torn up in the snow outside.
Yeah.
And then they go outside. The next time we go outside, and his body's right there, and it's burnt.
Dude, spontaneous combustion.
Yeah.
It happens to millions a year.
Happened.
He fell asleep
JFK's
sleeping a
head
cigarette.
just did that. And there's no answer. There's also, but I did Google it because I was like, hey, to myself, like, I wonder if there isn't extra information. I am just curious. Maybe I have missed something all these times. But scene was edited down to keep ambiguity.
That he's.
And I think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
And there's a deleted scene that shows what happened to him. But I would agree that the final product, unless like a director's cut is made, the final product is the final product. And so I'm not going to let things like deleted scenes or even stuff that John Carpenter says afterwards actually like supplement the movie. I think that they can definitely try to explain it if it's truly confusing. But this is a movie that's confusing on purpose. And we don't have all the information on purpose because that's the theme of the movie. So I wouldn't let any of it influence me. Actually, I would go based exactly what's on the screen.
Yeah, it's like Inception, where everyone's like, "Oh, what did the top stop spinning?" It's like as if like the camera ran out of film and like there's an actual answer, like the top really did something at the end.
Right.
It's just like it's whatever they fucking showed you, man, So yeah, I'm like Ryan, like I just like whatever the fuck the movie shows me, I'm gonna make assumptions. If they want it in there, like they should have put it in there.
Yeah. And I think this movie is one of the best edited movies of this era, like genre and era. For a slasher movie and for a monster movie, it's like edited and shot extremely well. Like most movies I watch out of this have a budget of like $70,000.
Yeah.
And this one had like millions and millions of dollars. So I think that this movie became a masterpiece in the editing room.
Is this a slasher or is it more of a squelcher? Or it's like a squeezer.
Yeah, it's a squelcher.
Or a chomper. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
squelchcore. There wasn't a lot
Makes
of slashing.
sense, that noise a lot.
I agree. It's an anti-slasher.
It's gross. And
Creature feature.
Yeah, Ryan, do you want to give the synopsis?
A lot of
Or
this
do we
going
want,
on.
Or do we want yeah, it's
Yeah, a lot of slurping.
a lot of slorping.
It's a slurper. Yeah, sure. So The Thing, 1982, directed by John Carpenter. I'm gonna wing this whole thing.
Yeah,
It
Thing this whole thing.
is a kind of a remake, kind of a reboot of a previous movie. The Thing from Another World, I think was the original title.
Oh.
Also based on a novella. But this is kind of since there's multiple versions of it, this is like the definitive The Thing movie. And this is hot off the backs of like Halloween. Halloween was 1978. This is 1982.
Watch a Halloween episode.
And the plot is that an alien crashes in Antarctica and has been there for 10,000 years.
100,000 years.
And then 100,000 maybe. And then wakes up when a Norwegian research station unearths it from the ice. They find a UFO and they take the alien out of it. And then it wakes up in their camp and kills everybody. So the monsters chase to the American camp. And there's a big misunderstanding. A bit of a lost in translation, if you will. And the Norwegian tries to warn the Americans, and the Americans kill him. So the Thing, it's an alien, and it shapeshifts, but the Americans don't know that. And so it's a dog right now. And they're like, "Oh, hey, dog, you're pretty cool. We'll put you with our other dogs after we let you roam around camp for an entire night."
I wouldn't have done that. I would not have fucking done that. No way.
And then they find out that the dog can shapeshift and therefore can impersonate living creatures. And they soon find out that includes humans. So these 12 Americans, maybe 12-ish Americans, are trapped in an Antarctic research station for the winter with no way out and with a shapeshifting monster slowly taking them over one by one. And the only man who can come up with a plan to stop it is Kurt Russell. And he's got a flamethrower and he means business.
There's also 6 dogs. We didn't mention the 6 dogs.
I mentioned the
movie as well.
dogs.
Yeah, but you say it was 12 people against the alien.
Yeah.
There's 12 people and 6
A lot
dogs.
of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
Yeah. I mean, the more we mention the dogs, the more we're going to have to explain what happens to the dogs. And that makes people sad.
That's right.
They get
That's
axed.
true. It was
This is the, there's all those memes about like, I can't watch a movie if the dog dies. So they look up whether does a dog die in it
Holy
before
shit.
they watch it.
Does some dogs
So there's a whole
fucking
website
die?
there's a whole website called Does the Dog Die?
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is like perhaps one of the worst of all time
This is
for
the worst
dog lovers. So many dogs get murked. And in like really unique and graphic ways. Like,
Yeah.
because the thing is a monster. Like, it's not like a bad guy or like a guy on 2 legs and it runs around and it cuts you or laser beams you. No, it like quite literally devours and digests you. And the dogs, man, those
The
poor
alien
guys.
dog turns inside out.
Yeah.
Fucking murks these dogs.
turns
dude.
inside out. One of them gets choked by the vines. One of them gets digested.
Sprayed with real goo. Like I was
Yeah.
like, wait. This is also the best dog acting I think we've seen outside of Air Bud by far.
Yes.
I think
that
yeah.
dog that did all the acting. He's a champ, man. He's like the best.
Really
He's
good.
like the coolest. My favorite movie shot of all time is of the dog.
The Art of Racing in the Rain is up there. It was a contender. I just
Yeah, they're one
Yeah.
1A and 1B. It's like LeBron and Michael Jordan.
But the other dogs were good in this movie. It was good dog directing.
feel
But
bad for that
in the-
dog that got hosed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, all the other stuff was fake, but that dog really did get hosed with goo. And the dog's like, oh, what the fuck? Dude, get the fuck.
Yeah, that's the one thing they actually probably could have like done non-practical effects for.
John, I don't want to spray a dog with KY jelly. Well, you have to, or I'm going to fire you.
Good thing it's 1982 and there's no laws about this. When in the intro of the movie too, because Amber's never seen this, this is like her first watch of it. When she was watching, like when she saw the dog running, she was like, "Oh, cool, like a dog running." Like, and she didn't say that, but like, then the guy starts shooting at the dog. She gasps. She's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Okay, wait, like if this is the baseline, like you got to move that baseline." Because if this is shocking, you're gonna see some real shit.
This is
here. Like,
yeah, this movie. Part of the reason it's so fond in my heart is because it was terrible. Like it was received terribly by the public.
yeah,
And it was called just a gore fest. Carpenter's lost his edge. All this stuff. 2 thumbs down. It got nominated for Razzies. The score by who is it? Ennio Morricone or whatever. And,
yeah, he's a cowboy guy. He's from cowboy movies.
Yeah, he does all the music for like the Good, Bad, and the Ugly and those.
Yeah.
Iconic, yeah. And he did the score for this, and it's great. It's like perfect, right? And it got nominated for a Razzie for worst score of the year.
What? It's not
Yeah.
even bad. Yeah, okay.
But then Quentin Tarantino had him do the score for The Hateful Eight, which is another snowstorm movie. And he used leftover unused The Thing score clips for it and got nominated for an Oscar.
Should have used those in the thing. I'm idiot.
I know.
Yeah, you cut out the good stuff.
So it's kind of funny to see like how our stomachs for this literally kind of almost have changed.
Oh, I think
And
so.
Now I watch this and it's refreshing because there's no digital. It's just some boys hanging out in a room and throwing each other.
Yeah, I agree because my dad was telling me this was the first movie he watched with my mom back in the 80s when they first met.
Wow.
And my mom, she's from Korea. She hasn't seen a whole lot of American movies. She's seen some. And he was like, "You got to watch The Thing." And he said like she was like grabbing for barf bags like within like a first like few minutes because it's just like the way The Thing reveals itself is fucking wild. Like, and it just keeps going.
Reveal scene itself, the original reveal scene is amazing. It's the dog. The dog's face goes inside out,
Spoiler.
and then the skull falls out.
That's another spoiler.
It's like so cool, and it kind of takes you by surprise. And I don't particularly find this movie scary, but it's definitely a horror movie. And I think the existential, what would I do in this situation horror is like textbook perfect.
I would agree.
Yeah.
A lot of body horror.
Body horror.
Body horror off the charts, and a lot of tension, a lot of suspense. The one thing, like, I do have to ask or pose this question to you.
Please.
The vibe that I get is the people that would be going to an Antarctic research station would be scientists and would be smart dudes. But then the panic kicks in and they act like idiots. And I'm wondering if the same thing is like true of The Thing, because he got off a spaceship, and like
Yeah.
that kind of means that at some level he's from a species that understands space travel. So
He tries to build one.
so he tries to build
scrap.
one, and I'm just like, I'm wondering if they're like, the same category of people, and they're like, oh shit, oh we keep making mistakes.
How do you think the alien would have acted if the first person he met wasn't Norwegians? Like, you think he did all that stuff because
He's like, he fucking hates Norway.
he fucking hates Norwegians?
Their
If
food
they're all
sucked.
like this, they all gotta go. I feel like The Thing was panicking for sure because he takes control of people, and they're kind of all like, he's not really thinking things through. I think because
That's
he's
what I'm
slurping
thinking.
people in full view.
He's a dog. If he wants to go back to his spaceship, he can just run back to his
He can run
spaceship.
back.
But he's
There's
like, is he like?
Yeah.
I can't tell if he wants to eat people or what are the Thing's motives.
Yeah.
The thing about that is the characters do try to logically get through their problems, and I think that why I like watching this movie so much as a slasher head is that the typical slasher character is an idiot, like actually a stupid like high school jock, where in this movie, there are scientists, there's helicopter pilots, there's people who are like naval captains and stuff, and they're like fairly well rationalized people. And then you have this monster that makes them kind of like lose that. And I think if we look at this movie from like a survival movie from the Thing's perspective, I do think at points it freaks out, but I'm not sure that. I think the biggest to me is that it knows it's going to get found out, especially by like the dogs. And so it has to be like keep moving and stuff. So I agree that the Thing is also freaking out, and it probably wants to just go in the snow and freeze. And that's what they're talking about too. Like that they do mention that it wants to just freeze to death because that way it'll thaw in the spring.
I think
and so. It's a survival movie from both perspectives. Yeah.
I mean, what if they just let him hang out? Like, what if the Thing just wants to hang out with the guys?
The Thing as a creature is not inherently smarter than any of those people, even though it comes from a spacefaring civilization. Much that in the same way we have like 1 billion times more access to information than we ever have, and there are still a lot of really stupid people. You can just kind of use I think like it's like whether or not intelligence is being able to use the tools available to you. Like the alien might not know how to make the space travel spaceship. He knows how to apparently make a spaceship. He's probably just
making a skipper. Like a big like jet powered sled.
Yeah. So
even then, that's really smart. Like I can't build a car out of like alien scraps. Like that's a pretty technical guy. Maybe he's like a gearhead in his world.
Yeah, imagine we get marooned on an alien planet and we're the Thing, and we build a Chevy Malibu underground.
Like,
and then we're like, wait, fuck, how do we get this out of here?
Shit.
I dug a 7-foot cave and I built an aircraft underneath it. I'm a
told
fucking
you
idiot.
We should build a motorcycle 8 times.
I'm going to squelch those guys. That's my only play. I'm going to squelch them all. Yeah, like that's an interesting thing to posit because I'm trying to think about like technology level, right? Because like it doesn't, like what you said, aliens technically might not be smarter than us. They just might be farther along. Because if you send me back to caveman times, I'm not going to be smarter than like a caveman. It's the same ass brain.
I think I think about this all the time, and Jason brings up a really awesome point. Because like the Thing is there's one monster at the beginning of this movie. It's in a dog form, but that monster obviously has intellectual capabilities and memories from its past life. So it's part of it is is a continuation of the same organism. It can multiply, like we saw in here. At any given time, there's 2 or 3 people who are actual things. And I don't know how like the knowledge transfers. And that is a really interesting aspect of it, especially when you consider that people can be taken over from the inside. Like if they eat contaminated food in this movie, they turn into a thing. And that's what happens to Norris.
Was that what happened?
I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was I was confused about that. I've read multiple people saying that can happen, but like
I like it if they have to be squelched to become a thing.
Yeah.
I want the squelch cuz I don't want
outside in, not inside out.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, just from a story perspective, this is just me, because I feel like the logic checks out of like, if it's an infectious agent, if it's cell copying, of course, if any particle, you breathe it in, the steam they breathed in, that would have infected all of them. But I like the horror of having to be squelched to become one of these things. That's fucked up. Like, that is way more horrifying than eating infected food, I think.
I would agree. The reason I don't like it is because like 2 characters shared a J. They cut each other with knives that they were sharing, and if there was like, I feel like if there was continuity to the Thing beyond Fuchs did say, he was like, I think multiple people online have said that they decided to start preparing their own food. Yeah. It just I kind of thought that maybe that was like a scientist grasping at straws, but there was also that like cellular scene that I thought was like programmed on the computer. I didn't know if that was like an actual.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
were they actually?
I mean,
is this real? Like
that's the 1982 version of what they thought like futuristic technology would be like. And I really like all that stuff, and I think this is really interesting, right? Because we were told that it's possible. The 3 of us, when we watched the movie, we were told it's possible that you could get infected from the inside out, and we should. And then there's a character who says we should need to prepare our own foods. And I just said that there's a character here who obviously ate something from and got turned from the inside out. And you guys are like, no, that's not what happened, which is literally the premise of this movie. That is the plot driver for this movie. It's a group of people taking incomplete information and having different opinions about what that means. And that's literally the point of the movie.
That's pretty good. We'd all be dead in the thing situation.
Yeah, we need to have someone in here who like can set us straight.
There's the thing about watching this movie, and we were texting a little bit about this in the thread, because Jace was like, these guys must have really strong stomachs, because even before you see anything, right? They're like, hey, let's check out the Norwegian camp. We just shot a guy. We saw a guy get shot. Like, that's crazy, right? We should go check out the Norwegian camp. At one point, Kurt Russell sees a bloodied axe buried into the wall, and he's kind of sees the. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go inside. I'm fucking gone, dude. I am gone. I am on the helicopter. Oh, getting the fuck away. Like, I see the burned building. I'm gone. But he goes inside, and they're seeing the most like absolutely wild horrors beyond imagine. They see a 2-headed guy that's like split open. They see another guy who like split his own head halfway off. Like, it was just.
It's amazing.
Yeah, crazy
I think
shit.
that like Mac and Gary and everybody being like war vets is part of the explanation too, to where like
they're just desensitized.
They're in Antarctica. Why? Because it's a fucking job, and they're messed up, and they don't really fit in with society, so they're all down here. And then you give them something to do, track this gross ass alien, or like let's investigate this burned down, chopped up, blood strewn Norwegian research outpost. And he's like, hell yeah. Me and Julie had this conversation during and after this watch through about like whether we would be more or less scared than some of these people. And I brought that up after they found a guy who slit his own wrists and his own throat, and the blood's frozen into icicles dangling from his arms, and it's amazing. It's all practical. It's all real effect. And then Kurt Russell's like, I'm gonna go check out these other 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Like, what? No.
Like,
I would be glued to that other person.
I would just not be in the room. Yeah, like I would be getting the fuck out of there. You're right, like, because that's really shocking. And like they keep going, right? Because they bring the corpse into the building. Like, they bring this 2-headed thing, and it's like steaming, dude. Like they're like looking at it, and me and Amber kept talking about this, because like the first thing you're thinking when you see something like this is infectious agents, even just any body or any corpse. And these guys are like poking at it with their pencil and like putting the pencil in their mouth. They're digging around, and the blood's like all over their arms and shit. And they're kind of like wiping their foreheads and their eyes with this stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. You're seeing like, even if that's a diseased animal at best, they're all just kind of like, oh, fuck, I don't know. Tastes like jelly. And they're like, they're doing all this shit to this stuff, and none of them are even reacting to the fact that they've seen some of this horrifying shit. Even not even like the cook, who seems like a pretty young, inexperienced guy.
Yeah, I think ultimately when you have the people who eventually do have mental breakdowns about this, it ends up making sense. And I think that a bunch of guys in the room in the 80s, and they're all socially weird, and there's a complex power structure here, and there's definitely some like Wilford Brimley laying down the science vibes. I think there's a certain amount of like, these guys are scientists too. And so I like that aspect of it, about how they initially approach it from like a scientific perspective. And then only later, when they see the dogs, right, get all eaten, are they like, oh shit, that's what we have in the lab. And then they start to burn it. I actually like that logic progression, because the characters do have some internal logic, even though it's not how we in this day and age also would like approach it. I did like that like progression.
They're also all boomer dads too. I was trying to remember that, where you just see like a bunch of like 12 dads with their hands on their hips, like, oh fuck, that's gonna be a mess. Like,
when somebody's working on their car in the driveway, and suddenly there's like 4 guys with beers standing around.
Oh, it's got 6 skulls. Oh, weird.
Yeah, because I feel like a modern remake with our sensibilities, we'd be like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of it. Like, we would be losing our shit. I can't imagine like millennial Zoomer being around and having that reaction, because like rightfully we'd be freaked the fuck out. We don't have this like 80s machismo thing going on.
They saw this stuff all the time in the 80s. This happens.
Chariots of heaven, man. It fucking happens all the time. Millions of downed ships a year. One thing I want to mention is Kurt Russell's character, because, you know, he's got the beard. This is kind of like the youngest I've seen Kurt Russell, too. He's kind of like this tough, macho guy. And I think I gasped when he broke the chess game in the beginning. Like, where you're in Antarctica, dude. Like, this is your only fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know how hard it is probably to get that unit, even just in everyday life? And he just pours a whiskey drink down it when he loses once. And then later he's like, you're going to need to give the gun to someone more level-headed, pal. And he takes the gun. This guy.
I think that little peek into Mac's character is so funny, where even the most level-headed people here are freaking they're wild cards.
And Child's played by Keith David, the Arbiter himself. He's like 26 in this movie. I couldn't believe it.
Everybody in this movie was like 26, but they all looked
like
55.
Wow, yeah. Oh my god.
They're all dads, dude. Yeah, Kurt Russell is like our age in this movie.
I got it. Okay, so order of events. I have to go back to this question. Norris was the one that was slowly turned?
Okay. One of them, yeah. So that's my interpretation of it, because he had organ pain. Yeah. And then his chest opened up and all his organs were replaced by the teeth. So that's my perspective of it. Like it didn't that's where all the thing stuff was in his internal organs.
I guess
Ryan, I like this. I like this.
I think that he was the first person in that room when he turns and the dog goes in the room. And I think there was physical assimilation there. And it's just like I know we were told in the movie that like they can't the dog guy was the first person to be licked in the face by the dog when it showed up. Right. And then he was later shown to be human. And if our buddy Norris could have been assimilated that way, unless the dog slept in his room and that sped things up. It's just
maybe the thing liked the dog guy. Maybe he didn't want to squelch him.
You know, he gets to live.
I think the thing has opinions, dude. Like, because the thing's in the room all the time, and he's like reacting, socializing, fucking playing cards and shit. Yeah. And actually having like probably a good time.
He smokes a joint.
He smokes a joint, dude. And so this thing doesn't kill everybody in this movie.
Yeah. We also don't know. We don't know when it got Palmer. We don't know when it got Blair. So I think the ingesting thing is still just a possibility. Yeah. In my brain, like it's just like a theory. So they have to account for it. And that's what I love so much about this movie is people who are accounting for things that they don't know for certain, and the movie not telling us the answer. For example, when they find Fuchs' dead body, we don't know what happened to him. They don't know what happened to him. We can only make the same guesses as each other, the audience and the characters. And then later on, same sort of thing, Mac tries to explain, look, the thing is plotting against us. It's ripping up my clothes and making it look like I'm the thing because I'm in charge. And it wants to turn all of you against me. And I like that these people are making sometimes incorrect or sometimes maybe they're too careful, more careful than they need to be. But also they're stuck in an Antarctic research station with a fucking shape-shifting, perfectly imitating alien.
They almost had
I think I'm also eating my own. I'm also making my own food.
You know, they I was kind of like, why are they doing that? Same thing I'm kind of talking about now. Until they got to that scene when they like tie everybody down to the chair and they start testing the blood. And
that scene, that's probably my favorite scene in movie history.
The jump scare in that scene got me. So I was like, I was in the chair, like curled up, like watching, and I was like, and that wire hits the blood and like it like morphs and globules shoots out. And
It's like
and okay, so we need to set this stage too, because I agree the test scene is my favorite scene in movie history. And they've determined, for our audience's sake, they've determined that the thing can be in your blood. And like when they killed one guy who was the thing, his head crawled off and turned into another thing. So like each part of the thing is a thing. And it just needs to eat something else so it can grow and replicate. And so they decide that they're going to test people's blood. And so Mac knows he's not the thing, so he's in charge, which is a ridiculous statement in this universe.
That's what I did in the beginning of the episode. Yeah.
And so he gets a flamethrower and he takes blood samples from everybody's thumbs and puts them in petri dishes, and then
fucked up place to cut yourself.
Yeah.
Too,
heats a big copper wire on the edge of his flamethrower, and then while people are tied down, he takes the petri dish with their blood, which is named, and he taps the hot needle against the blood, and their theory is that the blood will react because it's a monster. It's trying to crawl away from the hot needle.
He didn't need to sharpen that copper wire. That was egregious. That was weird.
Yeah.
I think he was
plastic
taking insulation
fumes.
off of it.
Yeah.
And so he tests a couple people where he gets enough people standing next to him that also have flamethrowers now because they're on the human list.
Yeah.
But there's still people tied up because they have a couple suspects people who are the most suspicious. So they have them tied up to a couch. So they're all roped together and everything like that, and they can't move while they're testing their blood.
It's just the fucked up part.
Which is really fucked up because then
it's like the
there's
tied together thing.
4 people that are tied together on this couch, and then they test Palmer's blood, and it jumps out. And
they're like,
great jump scare.
And they're tied to him, dude. Ah!
And then the other half of the humans in the room are tied to this monster, and it's just like the perfect, like, shit is going to hit the fan. We just don't know when. And it happens to be at like one of the worst times possible. And I think the scariest thing about that is imagining what it would be like to be tied to one of your best friends.
Yeah.
And then his head turns inside out.
Yeah.
and he starts shaking. And it's just like such a good horror like scene because, like, of course I don't want to get stabbed by Jason Voorhees. That would suck.
Yeah.
But I would rather get stabbed by Jason Voorhees than eaten by the thing. So the terror in everybody's faces when they realize they're literally tied to the thing is like, oh my God, it's perfect.
And it continues too, because after the whole absolutely chaos, amazing scene.
Yeah, they torch him, and he eats
and
another
then,
guy who's
windows
half melted, and they have to torch this half living human being, and then they cut to.
They're continuing
Let's
the
do it all again. They just go to the next guy.
And like, what's so funny is like, there's the second to last guy, and like this dude's shitting bricks. And they like test his blood, and they're like, "Okay, you're human." So in this guy's head, the guy he's tied to is probably the thing, and he's like, "Get me the fuck out of the couch!" Come on.
As there's a name for it, and I don't remember. It's an editing technique where it takes advantage of a phenomenon with the human brain. If the human brain sees two things close in time, it will naturally draw a connection between those two things. And that seems so elementary and stupid. Like, why would you even have to say that? But when you're making a film from nothing, you need to be aware of these things, that the audience is going to draw connections against the two shots that are put next to each other. And this movie does this so well. And sometimes it doesn't even like sink into you the results of the blood test, but then it'll jump cut to that person being let loose from their ropes and now holding a flamethrower pointed at the other people who are tied up. You're like, oh, so he's good, so he's cool, so he's a human now. And I really like that when when Mac is suspicious of the dog, he'll be looking around the room, thinking to himself that one person in here is the thing, and it just cuts to the dog. And the dog is just staring at him from like the corner of the room. And so the audience is like, oh, fuck, it's the thing. And that mixed with the editing they do during the test scene is just so perfect.
Yeah, that makes me wonder too, like what if the blood test didn't work? Mm-hmm. Like what if they went through the whole group and it's all
they're thinking and they talk about that.
Yeah, and they just keep going and it's just like,
and then it works once and then afterwards they're like, okay,
all right.
They're all set, ready to go.
That's the type of shit that like, you know, you like really really fucking hate somebody and you've been tied to a chair and you're like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy once I get out of it, and then it works and then you get let go and you're like, everyone like kind of looks at each other and like, we're gonna let that whole thing slide. Okay, we're a team now.
If I didn't like a guy, I would try to make it seem like his blood jumped. Be like, whoa, whoa, gotta touch him quick.
You see that?
I think it moved. You know what my theory is? Like, you guys have your theories about the cells or the squelching. Like, my theory, gas leak. All right, carbon monoxide poisoning. There's
none of it even
dude.
happened.
All through the ice.
It's all
everywhere.
Yeah, all they saw, like all they find is a fucking building that's blown up. All right, a fire, everything. No thing, dude. It's all gas leak. It's on their heads. Paranoia.
Wow.
One of the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning. Get your batteries checked at home, folks. Why do they have a flamethrower?
To melt things.
Why did this Antarctic research station have 5 flamethrowers?
Okay, yeah, like
to melt ice.
Yeah, Jace, like in Alaska, we had those like, you know, torches, right? to kind of clear your driveways of ice and shit. Okay, but this was a World War II flamethrower that could shoot a rope of flame like 100 feet.
Dude, okay, how about this? You're outfitting an expedition to an Antarctic research station. You have to stay there for an entire year. You have a couple options. They're not necessary, but one of the options is 5 flamethrowers.
5 flamethrowers and a chess machine. And they have like a pool table and like a fucking pinball. Like that place seems cool.
It's obviously been there a while because it's got a whole boiler room beneath it and everything.
Their hangout area looks pretty sweet. Like I'd chill there.
It's pretty much my house.
Yeah.
They do not use
5 degrees
flamethrowers
out
in
right
Antarctica. I just want to, the internet has a very staunch opinion on that.
They don't use those frequently.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I still feel like, I mean, we mentioned that these guys are very stoic, right? They don't really freak out as much as they should with some of these things. I think the other thing that really should have elicited more of a response is seeing a spaceship for the first time, seeing a massive, like, mile-wide flying saucer. Like, yeah. I feel like there should have been more, oh my God, aliens are real.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
agree.
on a spaceship, and the door's open. I'm not going to go in, though.
But also, that's like a really popular meme nowadays, is that, someone's underwhelmed or doesn't even care about the fact that aliens are, like, when all the whistleblower stuff was coming out of the Pentagon, and they're like, hey, did you hear aliens are real? It's like, oh, yeah, I heard about that. Groceries still expensive? Yeah. And look, it's like, nobody really gives a shit. And I think, especially boomers don't really give a shit.
I think there's a difference between 5 military jackasses saying they saw a flying saucer once and me standing on top of a fucking flying saucer. One of those is gonna be a holy shit, and the other one's gonna be flipped to the next TikTok for me.
And there's never a situation where Kurt Russell isn't acting like he's done this before.
Yeah, or he's like a typical.
He's like, okay, in these circumstances, we tie everybody up, and I point a flamethrower at you. First off, like, if I'm tied up, don't point the fucking flamethrower at me. It's one or the other.
Yeah. the three we've all played Among Us, right? We've kind of probably thought about what we do in this scenario, right?
Never played Among Us.
You've never played Among Us? I feel like I've played with you, Jace.
Oh, Jace seems like a big Among Us head.
You're not an Among Us guy?
That's sus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is pretty sus, dude. Well, everyone's kind of imagined what they would do in this scenario. Like, what would you guys do to kind of ensure your survival in this situation? Because we're not these guys. We're not the same skill sets. We're not the same headspace.
Right.
Like, I'd probably lock myself as soon as a flamethrower enters my hands. I would take the rest of the group hostage. I think.
That's exactly what I mean by I would never want to be marooned with you in an Antarctic research station.
I would guarantee someone makes that alive, and that person is going to be me.
Denali'd be like that guy that one Antarctic researcher stabbed because he was like, I took
really
all my books to Antarctica, and then I would get like 3/4 of the way through them, and the guy would ruin them for me. I'm locked in here for 3 months with this guy, and he would spoil the ending.
I just read the last part of the book. That's all I do. Kaladin is the I would lock myself in a room with all the cans of beans, and torch anyone who tries to come to the door, and that's all you can do, because like the end game here is bleak.
Yeah.
Because McCready, his thing didn't work. He fucking died.
Oh yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of the movie is Kurt Russell's character McCready coming to terms with the fact that he's not gonna make it out and convincing the other men to go down with him.
It's bleak,
which is hilarious because I was attempting to allude to this earlier. I think that they started eventually making good decisions, and then they immediately backpedaled on it. Like, leaving Childs in the research station while they go back and they look for Blair, a seemingly huge oversight. You have 4 humans. You have 4 humans. 4 humans stick together.
Yeah, don't leave anyone alone.
Please, for the love of God. I don't even... the power gets cut anyway? I don't know. Confusing.
Yeah, I think the explanation, too, is just like, Childs is Childs, and Childs is the badass. He's the biggest dude in camp, and he's got a fucking flamethrower. Like, I think a lot of people think Childs can take care of himself. And you see earlier in the movie, they don't even want to be paired up with him. People are like, I'm not going with him.
Well, we have years and years of Dungeons and Dragons experience under our belt, and we knew, no, you do not split the party. And they split the party. They did it 3 times, really. The child splitting the 3, and then they go to the generator room to blow it up, and then they split, and then they split, and God.
And they also lock a guy by himself in the like a shack that's like openable from the outside.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Hey, can you get me the fuck out?" Like, I'm like literally like a chicken in like a open pen here that's surrounded by like shape-shifting wolves.
Blair was turned for 3 days, just having the time of his life while everybody was inside that shack. When Kurt is drinking his is he drinking R&R?
J&B.
Yeah.
When he's sitting there drinking, he's like, It's been 48 days. Blair thing is outside like, woohoo! Steal underwear. Put it in here.
I think that's so... Part of my imagination goes wild when I think about what Blair was doing for those couple days, because he obviously the thing can make tentacles and unlock the door, but also they go check on him a couple times and he's just sitting at the table. He's like, I want to go, I want to leave. But he's also making a spaceship they find under the floorboards. I think that dude was at work.
Because the thing has a personality, right? Because he can communicate socially. I think the thing
prankster.
I think he has fun. I think he's like, because when you see him, when he's about to get discovered with the blood test, you see the guy's face. You know, I noticed this in the second watch. He kind of makes an expression kind of like, well, shit, here we go. About to go fucking goblin mode. Like right before he gets, he gets blood test. Yeah. And like, I'm trying to think, like when he was a dog, was that fun? I think it'd be so fun to be a dog. Like, he probably doesn't come from a planet with dogs.
Yeah. And that's why when he was put in the dog kennel and knew that he was going to get found, he immediately turned back into the monster version of himself, because I think he's like, well, this isn't fun anymore. Like, he likes palling around, sniffing balls.
What is like, I mean, at some point the thing evolved to a point where it could make machines, right? There's probably, I mean, at some point there's been a caveman thing, like a thing without technology, right? Like, what does that even look like?
Or
uh-huh.
The thing has always been a parasitic being, and somebody who could make spaceships landed on the planet that the thing is from. Thing assimilated it. It's actually a really good...
I like to imagine it like the xenomorph.
Okay, so it's like kind of like, xenomorph or like the Borg, where it's like someone already knows this shit, it's taking advantage. Because I've heard like some fan theories, right, where it's like the thing is like a weapon from another species,
my
right?
understanding was always that's why the ship crashed.
Because he can't drive.
Yeah, it's not his ship.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
You know when you get in a new car and you're like, the pedal's further away than I thought it would be.
There's 18 tentacle holes in here. Where's the steering wheel?
What if the thing never had tentacles and just the last guy he absorbed had tentacles and he's like, fuck.
You guys aren't like this?
Now I got tentacles. I'm gonna go to Earth and they're gonna be all walking around on two legs.
They've only got one.
Tentacles.
It's only 50% of them.
Yeah, when the dog revealed itself, he was like, oh shit, I'm gonna turn into something that's less obvious, and he thought that was the less obvious form when he turns into a meat tower. I mean, there's also the defibrillator scene, which comes right before the blood testing scene, which I think is the second most famous scene from this movie.
Yeah,
where the guy, which got me on the second watch too, like where
it usually gets me. It didn't get me this time. I can never remember what like pump of the defibrillator his chest opens up on. Yeah.
You think the thing is like, oh, here we go. I'm about to do the funniest
kill. The thing is rubbing its grubby little paws together.
I'm going to do the funniest fucking kill, dude. He's going to like pump, and my mouth's going to open like a Looney Tunes character and chomp both of his arms off. And like the thing's teeth even look just like cartoon, like triangles. Where he's like, hump, hump. and
the arms like rip off. It's not even like a clean bite through. It's like very clearly the props were put there, and they're like, okay, just rip back, and it's like, woo.
I think that's accurate. I think I would be so freaked out my arms would rip off trying to get away from that thing. You think if he stayed relaxed, the arms would have been fine?
Oh, like a drunk person in a car crash?
No, just like he probably would have been cut. It clearly didn't chomp his arms off because they ripped off.
It's really tough to say.
His arms off. What are you talking about?
He pulled back so hard they ripped off.
He only had half of his arms. They were off of the elbows.
Also, why did he die from that? You could live.
The later on when Blair walks up and literally puts his fingers under the dude's face skin,
that was nasty.
You just kind of like. I think it biting him could do as much damage as the thing wants to do, because he could also meld his flesh into other people.
Dude, I hated the hand thing. I hated the hand meld. That was so nasty.
And then my favorite part of that is just imagining too that like tentacles are going down his throat. And then he lays on the ground for like a couple seconds and Blair starts dragging him away. Mm-hmm. And you can see his face skin stretch. And like the thing is just dragging him by his face skin. And you're like, humans can't be dragged by their face skin. I get like, like there's no handholds. His hand is melded into the guy's face. And he's just like dragging the corpse around. Oh.
This guy's a nasty boy, dude. Like, the thing is, like, what's the nastiest thing I could do in this situation?
What
He's like,
if it's a particular like weird thing?
I
Like
think
on the
it
Thing
is.
planet,
Oh.
they're like, that fucking guy. They're all like
Like-
everybody else is normal.
Yeah, like, we have guns. Like, we shoot them, and then we kind of do, like, and he's like, no, I'm gonna, like, fucking split my tummy open and rip his arms off, and then I'm gonna send my tentacle through his head. And they're like, Jesus Christ. Pretty much after all of the sequences of events, right, they kind of get to the death plan, where they're kind of like, listen, we're all gonna die.
blow
Blow
it
this
up.
whole fucking place up, right? Which I think is a decent end game. But it's like, you're not going to get every bit, right? Like, if it's at a cellular level, if one cell of the blood is still alive, you're still going to get thanged.
Mm-hmm.
And if a penguin wanders in there, God forbid, the penguin's going to get thanged, and the whole penguin colony is going to be all things.
It's an imperfect plan. I agree. That's not the plan I would have went with. But I think the desperation and stuff, like, people were already killing themselves. And I think that, especially like the Norwegian station being burned, and then the thing having to flee from it too. You know, like Mac was there as well. I think if you were to sit down rationally, which they tried to do a few times, and come up with a plan, you could definitely come up with a better idea. But then also just like, Hail Mary, let's just blow this shit up. Plus, it's fun to blow shit up.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, real talk, my actual strategy, knowing that the thing has a personality and has hung out with me, I would try to make him like me. I think that's my only play.
Just make him
Like,
laugh.
I would try to make him think I'm funny, because like you're sitting in there, and it's like, I feel like this wasn't acknowledged, because there's multiple times in the movie where they're in a room together, like the blood test scene, for example, and they're like, we know that an alien is in this room right now. Like, there is an alien in this room who has lived a whole life, who knows, like, what they've done. Like, they've seen planets, they've traveled the universe. Like, I would at least take the opportunity to be like, hey, alien in the room, I know you're listening to me. I just want to say, it's really cool to meet an alien. All
Big
right?
fan.
I'm a fucking big fan. I always wanted to meet an alien. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I want to say this right now. You know, maybe try to, like, create a dialogue. Because the thing, he likes playing cards. Because clearly he did this for hours. And that thing can overpower all of them easily. Like, I feel like he could have just done it. Like, he didn't have to wait like this.
Also, you know, what if the things never had sex?
Oh.
Because it
With a
replicates
human?
by splitting cells.
It could have sex with itself.
Yeah.
Well, right, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay,
Hey,
like
I think
sex.
aliens are really cool, and if you want to get
No.
freaky,
we can show you. Let me show you what
Yeah.
Earth has come up with,
boring.
and it's gonna blow your
boring.
mind.
You don't even know. Palmer, that was a weird. Why'd you sound like that? I don't know.
No, where's the squelching? You guys don't even squelch?
The thing could teach us some stuff.
I think we can create a cross-species dialogue. And maybe that's the way we bridge the divide, because none of them never ever tried to love the thing. Mm-hmm. They never tried to befriend the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't even know what the thing wants. And we don't know what the Norwegians said to the thing to make it go on this bloody rampage. But the thing liked the dog guy. I don't know.
It's what I like. I wish I could attribute some level of intelligence or some want to the thing creature, because, you know, I mean, like, I guess you can. It didn't want to just leave, because during 3 separate occasions there were multiple things that could have just walked out
Yeah.
into the snowstorm and gone back to its spaceship. I was just thinking, what if that spaceship that was down in the bottom of the tool shed wasn't the alien? What if he wasn't making that? What if somebody was just bored and like Blair the thing never found it, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's making a spaceship!" And one of the guys that was down there was like, "Yeah, yeah."
The monster obviously
Oh,
made the
man.
spaceship.
It's like so well made too. Like, only a super intelligent being could make something this well made,
And he's
right?
filing for a patent, it looks like. Maybe we shouldn't infringe that and not make our own.
What the heck? He wrote my name. Dang.
Oh my god.
He hired
do
a
you guys
patent
think-
lawyer and everything. Signed all these documents.
Dang, what do you guys think of this spaceship, though? Wow. Like it's pretty
if
cool,
you
though,
if
right?
you had to if you had to give like one piece of constructive feedback.
Like, aesthetically, though, doesn't this look kind of like the spaceship we saw earlier? Too bad he was an alien.
Do you think that you'd pay a premium for heated seats?
If this went on market today, do you think you'd buy something like this with 0% APR?
If you did buy something like this and you upgraded, what if it get? Whoa! The alien
Whoa.
made a human figure out of cans, and it looks like
Dang.
it looks like a woman human figure out of cans. Whoa!
Oh, gross.
You'd get one of those with it, I guess.
Gross. This guy put lipstick on a bag of flour.
It's a little sex dungeon under the shack. Like, oh god, the thing's a pervert.
Dang. This guy must be some sad weirdo.
Blair
thing's
thing went
being-
down there and was like, "I'm gonna kill everybody.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna kill them all."
The Thing is one of the humans in the group discovering this.
Oh, the thing's into role play.
And the Thing human's like, no, I don't
no.
think he'd do that.
The real thing is like, no, obviously this has been here.
No, I don't think he'd be into that at all, actually.
It has dust on it. This is not recent.
Wow, the Thing dusted everything to make it look like it's been here for a year. Whoa. What if they all just start blaming him for everything? Oh, he broke the chess machine. Oh, fuck.
Dude, that's actually really
Asshole.
funny. You're in an Antarctic research station with a shape-shifting monster,
Yeah.
and you made a boo-boo that you haven't like told the company about, like breaking the chess machine. You're like, oh man, he only killed these 12 guys. Oh man, they were my best friends. And he threw a glass of scotch in the chess computer.
He grew 15 marijuana plants and smoked 60 joints in a research station where that's illegal. Damn, this guy's so evil.
He also clogged the shitter.
He clogged the shitter. That wasn't me. It smelled so bad. He also shot that guy.
Do you think the thing has to shit?
Oh.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, if the Thing shat in a public toilet, dude, that the shit could like disperse back into the water supply.
Yeah, that's why they can't let it get to civilization.
Antarctica doesn't have any like there wouldn't be a sewer tube going to South
Where would
America.
it go? Antarctica City.
We gotta pump our waste out somehow.
I know someone who went to Antarctica, and she said they had to like pack their waste back. Like if you took a dump there, you had to like bag it up and bring it back on the boat with you. Like you can't even leave it there.
Wow.
And I think it's because of the Thing.
Yeah, they're like, we saw this in this documentary.
Should we? You guys want to meter this thing?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Ryan.
What kind of season would this go in? Like dog
This
movie?
would have been in our dog season or an alien season.
Disaster even.
We floated this. We floated an alien
I
season.
floated
a
it
few
for
times.
Kurt Russell's season as well.
Oh yeah.
Um,
How Thing was it? This
Yeah,
is
how
a Thing
Thing was-
season.
I
Did
think there's a really funny like tweet. This isn't my joke.
Okay.
But there's a tweet where someone's like, I'm about to watch the Thing, and by the end of the movie, I'm going to come up with a better name for it. And then 2 hours later, their next tweet is like, nope, never mind. I was wrong. That thing is the Thing.
Yeah.
So I would give it, I think it's like a 10. I mean, they did try to make other Thing movies, and they weren't nearly as Thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think this movie's about the Thing. I mean, okay, look, I'll say this, though. I think the prequel Thing is more Thing, because the Thing gets more camera time. All right? In this, it's not the main character. Kurt Russell is the
The
main
Thing
character.
in monster form gets more character time.
Yeah, and I don't think we get to see monster form at all in this movie. He's all imitating stuff. He doesn't get to be himself. All right?
Be
he's
yourself,
like,
man.
Thing goes
Yeah, so-
crab mode spider crab mode 2 times. Is that not normal
Hell
mode?
That's not, no, Spider Crab is not what he, yeah.
Well,
wait,
head
what-
spider not, but I think it's pretty spidery, yeah.
The Thing sprouts crab eyes at some point. When did he encounter a crab?
At dinner.
Dude, he was at a crab planet,
I think
dude. He
the
was
crab is just the natural end of the evolution point.
That's
The-
true.
The Thing is trying to revert to crab.
That was a stupid fucking question. I just asked the ultimate evolutionary endpoint. Yeah. This is going to be a 9 on the Thing meter. I think you can go more Thing. And maybe that's in the sequel. Prequel.
There's a lot of people that could be the Thing.
That's true. Maybe he was on the camera the whole time.
He could have been on the camera the whole time. One of us could be the Thing.
Right now, reviewing
That wouldn't
Thing.
change how Thing this movie was, though.
Nope, it would just be an interesting tidbit.
It would still
that would be ultimately inconsequential to our review.
How many things were there total in this movie?
Total
One could
at
argue-
separate times, there's like 5 or 6, but
They're all the same thing, dude.
they're all the same thing.
Wow, that's
I think at any one time there's a couple. There's at least 2, because Blair is for most of it. Norris is one at the same time as a while. I think that whole time that Norris is one, Palmer is one. So I think at least 3 at one time.
On the thing meter, there has to be more than one thing, I think. Thing.
I don't even know what thing we're talking about now, so I'm gonna give it a 10.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Okay, we got that out of the way. This movie is pretty high on the thing meter. Thank God we spent so much time on that. All right, movie meter. Ryan, what do you think about this? Do you like this movie or like?
Yeah, so this is my favorite movie of all time. It's like, there's something about it. And every time I watch this movie, I end up having this conversation with Julie. We watch this a lot. And something doesn't have to be the best in order for it to be your favorite. And otherwise, everybody's, we would just go off these fun little objective critic reviews, and everybody would pick which critic review was their favorite. But really, like, humans have personalities. The things have personalities. My personality leads me to loving this movie. This is a perfect 10 movie for me. It has everything, literally.
Everything.
And the amount of movie making that it took to make this, like, passion project for John Carpenter, who's one of my favorite directors, I think is just, like, going out on a limb and coming up with this shit and insisting on it being all practical is one of the, we don't get this anymore. This is something that's quite literally frozen in time. And the idea that even the prequel that was made 30 years later didn't get it. It didn't have that certain je ne sais quoi, which I don't know what that means, but it didn't have the little part that you can't really put your finger on about what makes it special. And that's part of it because everything was practical. Like they were open a bag of guts, and the actor Wilford Brimley is holding a bag of guts that he came out of this like latex dog critter, and that's all there, and you see the people's reactions to it. And
that looked real, yeah.
This movie more than any movie makes me just like want to sit down and watch it. And it's not an undertaking. It's an hour and 50 minutes. And I really like that, where I feel like if they tried to remake it today, it would be 2.5 hours, and they would give us all this shit that they don't need to give us. Where this movie, it understands that the theme is humans sometimes have to make decisions in the face of inaccurate and incomplete information. And therefore, it doesn't give the audience more information than what the characters have. And I always talk about the slingshot. There's like important moments in movies when the audience is ahead of the characters, and if done right, that can create suspense. When the characters are ahead of the audience, and then something's revealed to the audience, you guys can snap back to the same place. And this movie expertly keeps the audience and the characters deadlocked the entire time. And that's something that can only be done with extreme care. And the editing of this movie, I think, is completely flawless. I'm going to give this movie a 10.
That's exactly, if I would be disappointed if it was any less, Ryan. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm glad we finally watched this thing too, because this has been on our list since the inception of the podcast. Yeah, I mean, dude, I agree. I mean, I've seen this movie before. Obviously, I like this movie a lot. It's refreshing to go back to see an 80s movie that's actually like kind of, it holds up. Like it's a really exciting, interesting movie. I think people, like what Amber was saying, when she saw this movie, it's still like, holy shit, what the fuck? Even though it's like parts of it are dated, it's still exciting to watch. When the chaos starts, it gets fucking wild. Like in that blood test scene where you see a guy's head split open, these tentacles are flying everywhere, everyone's screaming. I think John Carpenter does that shit so well. The best part of this movie is the paranoia, I think. It's got that like Cold War paranoia shit where it's just like, who can you trust? Everyone's lying to each other. Everyone's like choking each other. I think like, I kind of wish they played that up even more, but I like what they did in this movie. Like Ryan said, I mean, it's not like a perfect movie, like technically or whatever. I mean, I think for me, I wish there was a little more characterization. It's hard to tell some of these guys apart for me. Like, I was kind of like, what's his job? Like, what's his deal? When they say certain names, I was kind of having a little bit of trouble keeping up with it. I think some of the decision making wasn't super sound, like in a way that didn't really make sense to me. Granted, sometimes people make stupid decisions in a stressful situation. I'm not going to let it damper my score too much. I'm going to give it a 9, all right? I think this is a great fucking movie. If someone gives it a 10, dude, I think that's perfectly rational because this is a classic, all right? It's a great movie.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at any score you guys give it. You're allowed to not like the movie, and everybody hated it when it came out, too. So
Yeah, you would have been made fun of.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah, idiot. He liked the Thing. Everyone likes E.T.
Or keep that thing on me. God damn it, Bobby.
Oh, dang it, Bobby.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I really enjoyed the movie too. I am surprised there's like a continuous amount of discussion about it on the internet to this day. So many years later. Gotta talk about some things though, like the conservation of mass. That dog would have had to weigh 400 pounds to explode into that much viscera. And you're trying to pitch me a sci-fi movie?
He drank a 5-gallon bucket of KY right before he got put in the kennel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, God. I hate this part.
He drank all the whole lube supply for the entire year.
That's why Norris had a tummy ache. He ate 20 pounds of bones so that he could make stomach teeth.
Get ready. This is going to be crazy.
I really liked it. It made me want to think about the order of operations for who was infected when more than and left me thinking about the movie more than many of the other movies that I've watched recently. Like nothing else has spurred me down I'm going to do some research about this. And personally, where it leaves me is a high score right up there with you guys. My last comment is that I think that personally, I think Childs and McCready were both human.
Oh.
I do as well.
And my score is a...
It's we don't know. Because it leaves us guessing.
Wow.
Guess we'll have to see.
You got me, man. Edge of my seat.
But then maybe a deleted scene maybe says what the score is.
I think I'm like waffling between a 9 and a 10. I really enjoyed it. I think it was fantastic.
That's high praise.
I think it was fantastic for 1982. It looked great.
Yeah, I
really enjoyed Kurt Russell.
And for the record, I also think they're both human at the end.
Nice.
Wow.
You can see Child's earring.
You can see his earring.
You can see his
canon.
earring.
In canon, the prequel, they said the earrings they can't be there.
See, this is what I mean. This is why I asked the question at the beginning of this because
he turns and for a second it comes out behind his collar and you can see it catch the light.
Okay, you've heard the kerosene theory though, right? I don't want to belabor this. But
about them drinking the kerosene.
Right, because McCready was putting kerosene in the bottles earlier, right, with Molotov cocktails. Some people say that when Childs grabs one of the bottles, it's like one of the similar bottles, he's drinking kerosene, and McCready knows he's the Thing because the Thing doesn't know that kerosene is not what's supposed to be in the bottle.
I don't know. I just don't buy that.
I think it's a stretch.
He's always got J&B with him.
Yeah. Also,
if I'm about to go die in the freaking Antarctic winter and I've got the choice to take a bottle of scotch or a bottle of kerosene with me, and I know I'm going to die, I might just take the scotch.
You brought one suitcase, one outfit, 20 bottles of scotch?
Yeah. And one big-ass hat.
And a flamethrower. Hire this man.
Fun fact, it takes approximately 450,000 gallons of fuel to keep an Antarctic research station heated through the winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, don't say that out loud. We're broadcasting this to all over the internet, Jace. If a fucking alien hears this.
Oh, they'll know to target the Antarctic gas reserves?
That's where all the gas is?
It takes 60 squeltrons of squibbities to run a space station.
Yeah, that'll divert them.
Now they don't know what I'm talking about at all, and neither do our audience. So, thank you guys for joining us for The Thing. We finally did The Thing.
Thanks for being down to watch it.
I appreciate
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
I want to watch it.
It means a lot to me because sometimes I'm afraid to tell people about my favorite movies. Like the other day at work, I was leaving work on Friday, and I was like, telling everybody, "Hey, I'm gonna go watch The Thing," and
You're like,
everybody's like, "What? Like, why?" I was like, "Oh, it's the solstice. I do it every year. I watch it on the solstice. It's kind of like the point of the movie. You know, it's dark and everything. They're stuck in Antarctica." And they're like, "Oh, that sounds gross. That doesn't sound fun." I'm just like,
Look,
so
some
thank you guys
people-
for being down.
yeah.
You guys are my outlet for this stuff.
Of course. Glad to watch The Thing, Ryan. I've been waiting to do this for a long time.
Who's next?
Do I have the next?
DK, I picked Dune. Dune.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
One thing I do want to shout out just really quick. There is a piece of The Thing fanfic that I actually liked back in the day. It's called The Things by Peter Watts. It's kind of famous online. It's about it's a little short story about what happened in Antarctica from The Thing's perspective, and it's talking about its motives, where it's it's seeing being a single being is a painful existence, and it's making people come together as a hive mind, is a form of communion. It's a really cool piece of fun sci-fi. Check out The Things if you want. Yeah, and it won a Hugo Award, or it got nominated for a Hugo Award.
Whoa.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Does that... So the fanfic won a...
The fanfic 2010 Hugo Award nominee. It won a bunch of awards before that too.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's a good short story. I'd recommend it. If it's my pick next time, this is look, this was in some ways a dog movie, okay? And it kind of got my palate wet, so to speak. It kind of got me interested in watching more dog movies.
No.
And so I wanted to watch Dog Soldiers from 2002.
Yes.
The movie about werewolves.
Yes, dude. This has been on my list for years.
I want to watch this movie. I think it'll be a fun watch. Folks at home, it's on Peacock, or you could fucking rent it or something. Check it out. We're watching Dog Soldiers.
Yes, dude. I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. Not joking. This has been on my list, and I have not been able to convince Julie to watch it with me.
Yeah, well, now's your chance.
Yeah.
And I feel like we might have mentioned this on the podcast before. But anyways, Dog Soldiers next week. Join us. Do we want to leave our audience with a sentence that only a human would say?
Don't.
Ever.
Squelch.
Before.
You.
Squelch.
Everyone.
Always.
Squelches.
Guys, I don't know. I don't know. I think Jace is the thing. Guys,
Squelch.